always associated with the color red and royalty. He has been referred to by different names such as Harak, Kaharak, the Red Shah, the Crimson Khan, PTE-616 Mendes X Machina, and also SCP-001. Special Containment Procedures. Following the recent investigation of Dr. Robert Montauk, no action is currently needed to contain SCP-001. It is functionally self-containing, and any Foundation interference may harm or alter its containment. No Foundation personnel are to engage with any new matters related to SCP-001, with the exception of related anomalies already in Foundation containment. It is really hard to know what is actually urgent is due to the different contradictory versions. But one thing is for sure, and that is that the Scarlet King is at least as old as humanity due to many symbolic and non-symbolic references in different cultures throughout history. The common traits depicted throughout history are huge, red, demonic figure, often wearing headdress, usually a gold crown. It might shock you, but the SCP is probably connected to another SCP called 2317 SCP, a wooden door seemingly connected to a realm of a being known as the Devourer, who is seen as one of the main dangers to humanity that one day will escape and cause an apocalyptic event in the next 30 years. The SCP-001 was once classified as Keter, but now it has changed to Safe. Why, you might ask, such a powerful entity is classified as safe? Well, according to the file that was altered by O5 Council, changing it from safe will bring humanity's end. This end is related to the Scarlet King himself, as he has influence over powerful SCPs, and his arrival alone to our world will cause irreversible damage to the reality itself. So why safe? First, let's meet one name that is attached to SCP-001 in SCP Foundation, Dr. Robert Montauk. One recent event put his name as Scarlet King on everybody's mind, which is called SCP-231. SCP-001 recently attempted to enter our world through SCP-231, also known as Scarlet King's Bride, consisted of 7 women. 7 is a number most associated with the Scarlet King. The 7 women were kidnapped by the cult devoted to the SCP-001, known as the Children of the Scarlet King. These 7 poor women were impregnated by horrors such as SCP-682. Every time the horror creation were born, the poor mother would die. Dr. Montauk was under huge pressure to save the one remaining mother and prevent the final birth. At this time, the cult kidnapped his 14-year-old brother, and in response, Montauk, in rage, did the infamous procedure 110 Montauk, which is horrific details were completely wiped. This showed how dangerous Scarlet King is and resulted in Global Occult Coalition and the Foundation collaborative effort, Old Enemies, to flush and take down the Children of Scarlet King. In this operation, the Pash, the leader of the cult, was caught and interviewed several times by Dr. Montauk. That resulted in useful information. The most important one, that the Scarlet King is bound by 3 laws. 1. Blood. 2. Concrete. And 3. Howling. Law of blood. It is defined by poverty, violence, and hate, and most of all, fear. The only way to live in the cult's mind is in awe of holy pain. Law of concrete, the alternative to law of blood, is this law, which means the modern age, defined by empty safety and false comfort, building, easy to access food, healthcare, and technology, all which the Scarlet King despises. Dr. Montauk, pursuing the meaning of the law of howling, came to the realization that the Scarlet King gets more powerful when the SCP Foundation tries to understand and categorize him more. The more they try, the more powerful he gets. The SCP Foundation isn't just his main enemy, but its main asset also. While the Doctor realized this, a red crack appeared in the Pesh cell, a portal to the Scarlet King realm, and no Foundation could enter. The Pesh made last request to have one last chat with Dr. Montauk. When the Pesh saw him, he congratulated him on understanding what they are dealing with, and he said, "The Scarlet King is an idea, a concept. He is a being given power through conflict of old and the new. This is the law of howling. The reason the Montauk procedure was successful is that it was out of rage and not science. The Pesh's last words were the world and the Foundation need to change their way to stop the Scarlet King, and we didn't kidnap your brother." Immediately after this, Montauk shot him dead. He told O5 Council about everything and begged them to change their way, but they refused, and to prevent the rise of the Scarlet King, they classified his file as safe and not accessible, and gave vague procedures and prescription in his file. In response, Montauk quit and became the new leader of the Children of the Scarlet King. As old saying goes, if you can't beat them, join them. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave a like. If we reach 40 likes, I will release the next episode that is around the SCP-001's only remaining child sooner. Huge thanks to the Occult friend for his amazing animation. This is Dr. Grimm, out.